every year. I'm tired of voting for the lesser of two evils, so I want to make it clear. I want to vote against guns and ammo. I want to vote against war. I want to vote against people going hungry. I want to vote against people being poor. I want to vote against the big corporations. I want to vote against the rich getting more. Yeah, I vote when they tell me. I vote every year. I'm tired of voting for the lesser of two evils, so I want to make it clear. I want to vote for one big union. I will vote for peace. I will vote for 9/15. I will vote to make health care free. And I will vote for a woman's right to choose. And I will vote for a worker's right to strike. And I will vote for the right to vote against all the injustice I see. As for me, I'm voting for Bernie.
You might have noticed if you look on the front of yourself right now that you have a name tag, hopefully. It has a color. Based on your color, we're going to do a little round the world activity where we're going to talk about kind of the three biggest pieces of the campaign at this point. And what we're going to talk about is canvassing. We're going to have some signups for canvassing. We're going to talk about phone banking. And we're going to talk about voter registration and how that works up until the deadline, which is May 23rd.
Gonna vote against racism. Gonna vote against rape. Vote against people going hungry. Vote against crimes of hate. Gonna vote against nuclear power. Gonna vote against Trump and the KKK.
Before I hand it over, some of us have fronted the cost for this office because this is a volunteer-led office, unlike some of the other offices in the state, which is awesome. It's really cool. So if you take a look, we have Zena right here holding this jar, and if you'd like to chip in and help us fund the office, we have a goal of hitting $2,000, which will cover the office and a bunch of the canvas supplies for the next month. So you can just go up to Zena here, or you can drop money by the merchandise area. And with that, I'm going to hand it on over to Eric, who's going to keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
Woo!
Don't look at me like that.
Alright, so thank you all so much for coming. This is a really awesome turnout. This is just melting my heart. I know that you all want to see Bernie elected just as much as I do, so I'm not going to do any convincing or anything, and I'll keep this short, I promise. But I just want to remind everybody that regardless of whatever the pundits are spewing out of their little propaganda boxes, this election is not over. You know, mathematically, Clinton cannot secure the nomination before the convention. This is going to be decided in July in Philadelphia. So that means that we can win this. And that we're going to win this. Thank you. But maybe more importantly, I'd like to remind everybody that this community that we've built over the past several months, it's not going to disappear. You know, regardless of who our next president is, what we've got here is something really special. And, you know, to be honest, Santa Cruz needs us. And we're going to be putting in work. But we're not there yet. We literally have 1 month to make history. On June 7th, when we all vote in the primary, the rest of the country will have voted. And all eyes are going to be on us. So, you know, the rest of the western states have won landslide victories for Bernie, and we can better that. You know, we can remind the country and the world that California is the most progressive state in the nation. Yeah. That's right. Awesome. We can break voter turnout records. We can do those Steph Curry MVP numbers and rock the vote for Bernie. and basically guarantee that Hillary concedes. But that won't just happen on its own. It requires all of you getting active. This is our time. This is our opportunity to take our future into our own hands. And we're obviously really well organized. We're obviously ready to put in the work. So let's all step up and knock the vote for Bernie out to freaking Hawaii. Let's do this. Yeah, awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Cool, so on that note,
we're calling ourselves tonight, What's Left?
A 1 and a 2. Give Bernie Sanders your vote. Give Bernie Sanders your vote. Healthcare, education, and energy. Keep this country afloat. He works for the people and not the billionaires. Gonna make them pay for what they grow. Get ready for election day. Give Bernie Sanders your vote. Well, healthcare is a right for all. College education too. He's a man against pollution.
What is your role?
I am actually just a plain old volunteer. I have never worked on a political campaign. I'm almost 48 years old, actually, and this is the first time I really believe in a presidential candidate. I believe in workers' rights. I have 2 daughters that are off at college. I want to see their lives go well in the future, and I believe that Bernie is the kind of guy, the candidate that can do that kind of thing.
I just have never been part of a political campaign before, unless you count high school, which I don't count. And I didn't know about the primary process. This has been educational. Extremely. I had no idea how the primary process works, how caucus states and primary states are different, how voter suppression has really taken a sinister kind of toll on our entire system.
It just made me, the more I learned, the more and more I like Bernie, and the more and more that I say, yes, he's the guy, because it's just, it's just time for a change. It's not politics as usual anymore. It's time for democracy to happen, for most people to be served instead of a very few people to be served.
The money has completely messed up our democracy, and if you don't understand the ways that they've changed the rules so that the candidates who are nominated maybe aren't the ones that the people really want, or the general election, how have they changed things that have made it harder to vote in a lot of states with IDs and all these different requirements to be able to participate in our democracy, and it's really not democratic. So again, if you don't understand, and I'm so glad that this is leading so many people, as we can see tonight, people are excited, and they are, they're fired up. They're starting to understand what's going on. They're paying attention. They're not keeping their head in the sand anymore. That's really exciting and inspiring for all of us to see, I think.
But if he's gonna win, well, we gotta hold the chin, gotta get out and make a stand. So help him vote, donate, get a tote, make a song about him with your band. Gotta get ready for election day. Give Bernie Sanders a hand. All right now. Give Bernie Sanders your vote. Give Bernie Sanders your vote. Give Bernie Sanders your vote. Give him your vote.
Well, let's talk about tonight and the success and how you view it.
Well, just ecstatic about the crowd that we had. It was massive. We had over the number that we thought we would have actually attending. I'd say we had over 200 people show up for this event today. And what's really impressive is not only was it a mixture of locals of all ages, of all backgrounds, it also had we had a big group of people who have just arrived here from out of state, from Michigan, from Pennsylvania, who have been helping Bernie and have been moving westward. And now they're coming to California kind of for this culmination of campaign activities, and they're here to help Bernie win. So that's pretty exciting. That really got me fired up.
Why should people of Santa Cruz vote for him?
Ooh, goodness. Why should people of Santa Cruz vote for him? I think people in the United States should vote for him, mostly because I believe in the $15 minimum wage. That's a major thing for me. I believe that healthcare, we need a social democratic system. I believe in that. I'm very strongly know a lot about free trade. I'm not for free trade. I don't think it helps to create problems in other parts of the world. I've lived abroad for a long time because it creates problems back here at home. He stands for, I think, workers' rights, the general public. And
Is a lot of us resonate with this campaign, and they resonate with the message, and we resonate with the candidate and his, just never-ending dedication to the issues. I mean, he does not waver. He is honest. He's straightforward, and he doesn't flip-flop on the issues. And I think people have seen that, and they respect. They've researched his background. They know how he's voted on every issue, from the war in Iraq to supporting a $15 minimum wage. He's the only candidate who supports that. The only one who supports universal health care. Like, for a lot of us, that is what we want in this country. And so that's where that dedication has come from. It's come from finding someone who matches our ideals and what we believe would be best for the future of this country.
Give Bernie Sanders your vote.